Hey guys, hey, sorry for not recording anything and posting anything in a long time. I've been busy with being sick and starting college. But here's a video of how I made some polymer clay cherry blossoms for my big project that I'm working on. Here you see that I had, these are regular cherry blossoms, and you see the yellow and the red stems. I tried to do those and I did them, but on the finished product I didn't like them, so I cut it out. So please excuse if some parts are a little jumpy or it looks like I skipped something. It's just, I just didn't like how those ended up, so I didn't put those in. So here I'm just making the center of my cherry blossom. I just started off with a round, oh no, I lied. I'm making a petal, and sorry if my voice is kind of different. I have been sick recently. But here I just made a round ball for my petals, and each ball is about the same. I made them all different because no flowers in nature are perfect. So I just flattened them out using my thumbs and squished them to a very thin petal shape. And then I also wanted to put some veins in there to resemble a regular petal. So here I used an edge of scissors. I also used like the back of a knife. Any pointed object or even like a credit card would work to do this. And so I just put in some ridges for the veins of the petals. And then I also have this napkin that had a texture to it. And so I didn't want the petal to look unnatural. I really wanted it to look as natural as it could be. So I pressed in this napkin and put the texture into my petal. And then when I baked it, all I did when I put it on the baking pan is I squished it up like this so it kind of looked different. Each little flower petal was different. And then I think I also put a little ball of foil also underneath the petal to give it a rounded cup shape. And I put it in the oven for 270 for about 5 minutes maybe for all of them because they're very thin. It doesn't take long at all. And you don't want to burn them. So I did those, and I did 10 flowers, so I did 50 petals, because you need 5 petals each for each flower. After it came out of the oven, I just took regular white paint, because, I don't know, I'm anal about having things perfect, and it wasn't a perfect white. Like, balling it up and molding the clay, I guess got dirt and hair into it, or whatever. It just wasn't a pure white. So I did paint it over with a white paint to get it a little bit more bright. Alright, after it dried, I also hot glued the very back of them and put all the petals on toothpicks, so it was easier for me to paint and to put these little chalks on, and just easier for me to handle them. So I have these chalks that I got for ceramics. My grandmother got these for me a while ago, and I haven't had anything to use these for. So I ended up taking I think it was an eyeshadow blending brush. I don't really use them for makeup, apparently. So I opened up. It's just chalk. Like, that's all this is. It's just chalk. So I opened up these 4 shades of colors. I have the very first one's not white. It's actually an off, like, pastel pink. And then I have a hot pink, a purple, and a, like, hot bright red. Because the chalks, when you put them on, are very light. Even the bright colors were light. And I had to do several layers. But I really loved how well they blended, and it looked natural. So I stuck with it and just put layers on layers on layers of this chalk. And eventually I got it down to a science, and it was great, and it went pretty fast. So putting these on, I did the light colors first, and then if you look at a cherry blossom flower, a cherry flower, whatever they're called, I don't know, cherry blossoms, that's what they're called. You can see to the center of the flower it gets really dark. So that's what I was trying to do. I was trying to get the darkest part of the flower, or the petal, to the very corner would be the inside of the flower. So I just did that until it was a color, good shade that I liked. And each flower had different size petals and different colors, not different colors, but different amount of color to them. So they all looked different, which I was very happy with. Here is the center of my flower that I made. I will show you how I make that. I also, in the very end of it, I added more hot pink to it and a white over it, so it made it a lot brighter than it was. And here I'm doing a little drawing to explain what parts of the flowers I'm making. The center of the flower was kind of textured and it looked very cool, so I wanted something crazy kind of to go in the middle of this flower. I also was going to show you like the antennas or whatever they're called on this flower, but since I ended up not making those, this drawing was just kind of for fun. So, I think it would have looked better if I made them, but if I made them a lot shorter, I made them pretty long, and it kind of just looked like an alien inside my flower. So, the proportion for those antennas weren't great, plus it made it really complicated looking. So, for the clay flower that's going to go on this huge monster canvas on a huge wall, it wasn't too important for me to add those to them. So adding the ball for the center, I just made a round ball, and then here I'm cutting triangles, or even with my nails I could rip off pieces off of the clay when I flattened it out to make little, I don't know, spikes? Yeah, spikes, that's what they're called. Put little spikes on top of this rounded part of the flower for the center, and I just rubbed it in and made sure it blended into the bottom of the spikes, blended into the clay bottom. And then I just kind of swirled around the spikes to make them all look crazy and different and natural. They kind of look like little miniature pineapples, because, I don't know, I like pineapples, and that's what they looked like to me. The baby upstairs just woke up. That's alright. I'm over at my dad's right now, and I cannot sleep because I'm sleeping on a couch. So, I'm editing this video that I've had in my damn phone for so long that it's starting to go crazy to have it in my phone for this long. I've just been procrastinating and having so much other things I need to do. But I put a lot of spikes on these. You don't have to put as many spikes as I do, or you can put more. It's all up to preference and how you like it. Or you don't even have to do a spiked. You can just do a round ball in the middle and call it a day. It's up to you, whatever you want to do. But I really like my crazy pineapples. So these are the same. I put them in the oven, 270 for 5 minutes. And they came out, and whenever they come out of the oven, I always put them in the freezer. So here's all my petals. I did a glitter sealant to maybe give them some color and some shine to them, but it didn't really give any glitter to it, so that was a bummer. But it sealed in all of the chalks. And you also see on the petals, it wasn't as dark as I wanted them to be, so I took some magenta paint and painted the very edge of the petals towards the center of the flower, and I forgot to videotape that, so I apologize for that. But here I just glued the center to a piece of foam so I could easily hold it, and I hot glue the rest of the petals onto the center, just having everything spaced out well. I was originally going to use permanent glue, but I needed something that would hold them still, like, right then and there. I was being very impatient, and it was very early in the morning. It was like 3 in the morning, and I just wanted to go to bed. So I got these on, and I made sure, because I made so many different petals, different shapes and sizes, that I made sure all 5 of them were about the same shape and size, so they kind of looked like they belonged in the same flower. Sorry, my nephew just woke up and he came downstairs getting ready for school. Well, go get something else, bud. He's sick. Poor bud. Alright, so here is it all, you know, glued up. And I'm going to do another clear sealant coat on them, and then when I'm done I will put a matte finish, because cherry blossom flowers are not shiny, they are matte, and then that is all I did. And here is the end result on my little cherry blossom flowers. Most of them have a little shine, but they're all great. So